Hey guys, back with another SuperCoach video. JLT's over. I saw it as 2 weeks that would help me answer a couple of questions I had about players in my side. Instead, it gave me a ton more questions and I've ended up making quite a few changes. With just over a week left before the season begins, I don't think I'll be making too many more changes unless I'm forced to. Anyway, here's the team. So here it is. Got 36.2k in the bank, and it looks a whole lot different to any of the teams that I made before JLT. As you look down the team, you'll see quite a few risky picks. I'll explain my reasoning behind those guys. Definitely doesn't mean they're locks. I just want to explain why I have them in my team right now. Starting off in defense, Shannon Hearn. I liked what I saw from him during JLT. Kicks a lot, takes their kick-ins, has a long kick, which is what SuperCoach likes, and doesn't seem to be affected by the new rules, which is a good sign. Callum Mills, first of the risky picks I have at the moment, projected to get more mid-time for the Swans. Did play quite a lot of defence in the second JLT game against the Suns, but I won't look too much into him playing defence just because of the fact that Sinclair wasn't playing, forcing Aaliyah out of defence and into the ruck, and Jake Lloyd not playing either. So I feel like he'll get more mid-time when they get a healthy squad. So if that's not round one, then I might reconsider the selection. But if it is, then I'll probably back him in. Zach Williams, he was an absolute gun in the half of football that he played in JLT. The only worrying part is that he only played one half of footy. But the Giants were just managing him, so I'll back him in to come out firing come round one. Brodie Smith, another risky selection, but he's great value. He's showed that the new rules seem to favour him, taking a lot of kick-ins, getting a lot of footy, and at 332k, I feel like he'll be a great selection. And the rookies at the moment are Scrimshaw, Clark, Dersma, and Hoare. Ken Hinkley's already come out and said there'd be quite a few guys making their debuts for Port in round one, so hopefully Dersma is one of them. I believe he should be. Jordan Clark, I'd be shocked if he doesn't get a start in round one. Marty Hawes looked good in the Melbourne defence. He's a good intercept marker. And with Stephen May getting suspended, it only increases the chances of him starting round one. It's what happens once May comes back. That will be the unknown. And Scrimshaw, I'm not too sure about at the moment. I wouldn't mind trying to go up to Collins for him, but I don't have the cash for it at the moment. Scrimshaw showed some good signs throughout the JLT, but it seems like he doesn't have a tank to run out of games. And Collins, with Rory Thompson doing his ACL, I believe it was, I think that might make Collins more accountable as a defender, might have to man up a bit more rather than come off his man and take the intercept marks that made him an appealing selection. Selecting defenders has been tough this season. Usually we'd be going with the old reliables in Lloyd, Laird, Simpson, even Sicily, but with the new rules, I just feel like those types of defenders are going to be held more accountable in terms of needing to guard their man rather than come off and get the easy touches. Of course, kick-ins can give him the easy touch, but I just feel like at their price, they'll all drop at some point and we can pick them up later on. These mid-prices have presented some great value and they've played well. They've showed some great signs throughout JLT. I mean, that could all change once the regular season begins, but I'm backing these mid-prices in. In the midfield, Paddy Cripps, absolute gun. We'll back him to back up what he did last season. Lachie Neale, really reliable, so consistent every season, and he's slotted into the Brisbane side very nicely, and I'll back him to have another great year. Stephen Coniglio was an absolute gun last season. I feel like he was snubbed of an All-Australian selection. He had a great JLT. He'll be that man inside in the GWS midfield. He had a few quiet games last season, so I feel like there's always room for improvement and he can bump up that average. Dustin Martin, he's been in and out of the side a few times, but he's in the team right now. I said this in my last video, I feel like he's great value for what he can do because of course, Dusty at his best, we know what he can do. I feel like the new rules will help great clearance players like Dusty, or open things up, give him time and space to work with. And with Tom Lynch and Josh Caddy set to come back into the Tigers side for round 1, I feel like that will allow him to get more mid-time. And as long as Lynch stays healthy, I don't think he'll be parking in the goal square for long periods of the game, hopefully. Matt Crouch, he was an absolute gun throughout the JLT. He's great value, averaged 110 in 2017, so we know what he can do. He's proven it before, and I can see him definitely getting back to his best. And the rookies, Sam Walsh, absolute lock as long as he's healthy. Zach Butters, Charlie Constable, Willem Drew, and Bailey Scott all showed great signs throughout the JLT, and hopefully they get a spot in round 1. And Tom Atkins, he's the pressure forward that Geelong needs. He gets a lot of the footy, gets the contested ball, and brings the pressure. So I'd be surprised if he doesn't start round 1, because I feel like he definitely deserves it. In the rucks, we got Grundy and Gawn, was Goldstein, but with Bruce not playing very well for the Ds in the JLT, looks like Gawn will be rucking solo, and we know how good he is as a solo ruck. So he's locked in. Grundy, feel like he was a little hampered by injury, didn't kick a lot, but I'll back him in to be one of the top 2 rucks this season. So just set and forget that. And in the forward line, Paddy Dangerfield, as long as he's healthy, he's locked in. Isaac Heaney, his ankle got caught under him in a tackle against the Suns in their last JLT game. Recent news has come out saying that he'd be alright for round 1, but that's just something to look into. F3, I've had a lot of trouble deciding who to be set on. I've got a lot of options. Josh Dunkley, don't have enough cash for him right now, but if I was in that situation where I do, then he'd be in consideration. Tim Kelly, Michael Walters, and Jack Darling. Obviously, Walters is in the team right now. I like the selection. Right now, he's a pod, as is Jack Darling. So I feel like they'd both be great selections, more so if they paid off as pods. It looks like Walters is set for a lot more mid-time. I like what I saw from him in the JLT. Scored really well in both games, especially because he didn't play much as well. So that was a great sign. Of course, the main downside to his selection is what happens come round 1 when Fife returns to the side. Where does Walters play? Does he get more forward time now? Does he stay in the midfield? What happens? And that's the risk you have to take sometimes. So at the moment, I've got him in the side. Like I said, there's a lot of options I'm considering in that F3 spot, but Walters has it at the moment. Lincoln McCarthy, another risky selection. For Geelong, I believe he only played 29 games in 8 seasons. I'm pretty sure. So if that doesn't say injury prone, I don't know what does. But in the JLT, he played really well. Averaged 90 SuperCoach points. Got a lot of the ball, kicked goals, tackled a lot. Some SuperCoach friendly stuff right there. So I feel like if he can play that role really well throughout the regular season, he can make some good coin. Like I said earlier though, injury prone, so that's the main risk in his selection. But he's a pod right now, so I feel like he could be a really, really good selection if he pays off. And the rookies at the moment are Will Setterfield, Jack Petrocelli, Noah Bolter, and Matthew Parker. Forward rookies have been real tough this season as well. Not many to choose from, not many have been great. And if a couple of these guys don't get a round 1 selection, then that might mess up the team a little bit. And if we're forced to go for a higher priced rookie, then that changes things for the side. So hopefully these guys can get a round 1 start, but if not, then there'll be some changes that have to be made. So a lot of this relies on the rookies, but hopefully this is the side that I can stick with for round 1, barring a few minor changes if I need to make them. But yeah, that should do it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.